Brodes Media.
I am physically beat up from game 2 and emotionally. And it makes me very uncomfortable because in a weird way, that's giving the stupid, disgusting Mets some version of validation. Another way that I spin this is, once again, it's more about the Phillies. The Phillies are beating me up because you don't know what version you're going to get on a night-to-night basis. When it happens to be the team, the one, holy hell, is it the best? But it could be so draining and so toxic and so disgusting to watch them play on one of their quiet offensive woe nights. So they're the ones that's putting me through the ringer physically. And the more and more I think about it, I'm not just saying that to say that. That's the truth. So if I'm smart, I'd end the show and pretend I never said it. But since I'm a man of the people, I can't do that. So let's get into a little bit of last night and game 2, and then we'll look ahead into game 3. I overlooked Bryce post-game, which made a lot of sense. It was so hectic. You don't have enough time to absorb 4 minutes after the game to come sit down here and share my thoughts. I figured there'd be a lot to miss, and then we would reconvene, if you will. I was going bonkers with Nick's second half of the back-to-back bomb and with Bryson Stott. That made me feel a type of way that I probably haven't felt since the last Red October we experienced. The Bryce one, that starts the whole thing. That starts the whole thing. I want everybody to just close their eyes and think about Bryce Harper's face and say, thank you. Thank you. All this man does, you can open your eyes, by the way. All this man does is dominate. And I mean literally dominate in the postseason. He's always clutch in a sport where you fail as much as you do, because obviously there's an idiot who's listening right now who's going to say, well, actually, shut up. In a sport where the success rate is what it is, my man Bryce Harper is as ready for the big lights as anybody who ever laced up their cleats. Without that shot in a series where it was smacking them in the face early, they don't want a piece of you. You found a pitch against Severino and maximized it like no one really can. The lack of actual opportunities to do that based off of how they were walking him intentionally every time. It's hard to do that when people are throwing for strikes and actually accidentally missing their location and a breaking pitch falls short of middle. It's hard to do it then. I wonder what it's like to be in his mind during an at-bat of that magnitude. It's insanity. There was seriously never a doubt. We always joke about that, right? Whew, easy win game 2, huh, boys? Never a doubt. But in all seriousness, with him, there is an element of never a doubt. So after game 1, I hate to put people back into those feelings because it was a dark, dark time. I had the opportunity to host midnight to 3 a.m. on WIP. Game ended around, what? Maybe 7-ish? So 5 hours later, boom, we're having some heavy reaction. And as you can imagine, people were pissed, as they should be. The phone lines were stacked the whole night, rolling into the middle of the night. Wouldn't stop buzzing. I got a call that will probably stay with me for the length of time. And I'm all for being really upset and saying some things because you're in the moment, venting, getting a lot of rage off your chest. Surprise! I think it could be healthy to a certain degree. So you want to throw insane thoughts out there? By all means. But this one was so insane, I had to fight the guy. His takeaway after game 1, and I hope to God he calls me back when I'm on later this week. He goes, Bryce Harper's a narcissist. You're never going to win anything with guys in this room with that type of mentality. And I said, hold on a second. You watched him have a double and 2 walks in game 1. You're angry the bullpen blew a 1-0 lead. Yes, that's correct. Your bullpen couldn't shut the door in a 1-run playoff game. And the offense in totality, including Nick, Trey, and Bohm. And your takeaway is Bryce Harper's a narcissist. So why? Why? Well, because he admired a fly ball before and he didn't hustle to get off the phones. How you feeling today? You don't think Bryce Harper will do anything to win for his team? Do you know how difficult it is to stay engaged the way he is, knowing when to take the walks, knowing when to take some hacks, when he's getting pitched this way, and saying, yo, I'm passing it to the next guy. That's the way we got to do this thing. A narcissist would say, it's my moment. Well, he probably does say that to some degree, but in a cocky, confident, and I'm going to deliver way. But he's totally willing to win if it's because of Nick, because of Trey, because of Zach, because of any of these guys. That's just so dumb and such a clown take that it's nuts to me. And I just think it's ironic because the following game, that was an all-time Citizens Bank Park playoff game. And Bryce Harper, surprise, surprise, is the face of that again. They don't make them like this. They don't make them like this. So it's hilarious that a Phillies fan would have that type of view after the first game loss. But anyway, speaking of Trey Turner, it's also not getting praised enough about his 9th inning, 2-out walk. This was someone slotted second in your lineup that was chasing uglier or just as ugly as what Nick does. It was tragic how he approached some of his at-bats. A 2-out, 9th inning walk after the demoralizing home run with Matt Strahm on the mound. You know how easy it is to wrap it up and say, we're going to extras, boys. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Here we go. This is it. Season's on the line. Extra innings. 9 inning, 2 outs. Work the walk. Then they have to have a very difficult conversation about what they want to do with Bryce and attacking him. I thought the Mets really screwed up with how they didn't want to sniff Bryce in the 8th. That's where the Bryson stop magic went down. It's ballsy. It's ballsy. and the Phillies do have too many hitters, they will make you pay. Crazy stuff. It really is. So a few different hypotheticals I heard today looking ahead at Game 3. I heard this one from Joe DeCamera. If Aaron Nola goes 7 innings, and now you need to go to the 8th, and we're thinking about how the bullpen has not been clutch lately, you need a lefty. Matt Strahm or Jose Alvarado. Who do you go to Game 3? Now, my answer would be Matt Strahm, based off of his regular season, deserves the ball again. He's got one more chance. If it goes wrong, then Jose Alvarado gets the next left-handed shot. If you were to be super quick on the leash from anything that happened in the regular season and willing to make change like we've seen Rob and Dave Dombrowski and the Phillies do as a staff multiple times this season, then who knows? Maybe it is Jose. Let's think about what they did for Game 2. They benched Alec Bohm. Does it get much bigger than benching someone of that caliber who's been the player that he's been for all of the regular season for you? The doubles, the runs batted in. He was your cleanup hitter all year. So if Rob is willing to yank his ass out of the lineup, I wouldn't be stunned for any move.